begin this evening's commencement exercise, I remind everyone to please turn off all personal communication devices and respect for those individuals seated around you in honor of our graduating seniors. Will the audience please stand for the processional of the class of 2017? Good evening. I'm Ronald Barenwald, principal of Cedar Springs High School. Members of the Board of Education, fellow school administrators and Cedar Springs Public Schools faculty and staff, parents, family members, invited guests. It is with sincere pride and excitement that we are gathered here on this beautiful evening with the class of 2017 for this, the 137th commencement for Cedar Springs High School. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join the members of the high school choir under the direction of Linda Janik in the singing of our national anthem. Let us also remember the heroic men and women who have fallen establishing or defending our great country, and think of those who have or are currently serving in all branches of the United States military. Our flag is flown today at half-staff in honor of Army Sergeant Terrence Hinton of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Will the audience please remain standing while the seniors take your seats on the bleachers. 2017, you may be seated. Audience, please take your seats as well. We have assembled several individuals on stage this evening. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce all of them to you. Please hold your applause to the end of the introductions. Beginning with the Board of Education, President Matthew Schaffner, Vice President Brooke Nichols, Secretary Patricia Erie, Treasurer Heidi Reed, Trustee Michelle Bank, Trustee Ted Sabinas, and Trustee Shannon Vanderhyde. Of the administrators, Superintendent Dr. Laura Van Dyne, Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, Ms. Jo Spry. Fellow high school administrator, Mrs. Ann Costas. Reader of the student names, Mr. Trey Reed. Commencement speaker, Mr. Justin Harnden. Salutatorian, McKenna Darling. Salutatorian, Patrick Flairman. And valedictorian, Tara Teppen. Now you may give them a round of applause. I now call upon Dr. Laura Van Dyne, Cedar Springs Public Schools Superintendent, for the official welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, graduates of Cedar Springs High School, class of 2017. It's your day, and it's a great day to be a Red Hawk graduate. Welcome, parents, family, and friends, to this celebration of the success of these special young people being honored here this evening. How proud and excited you must be to see your graduate cross this stage to receive their diploma. You know well the effort, the tenacity, and the positive mindset that your child had for many years to earn their place here tonight. You know well the love and commitment it takes to parent, to lead, to support, and to cherish all times with your children. For that, we applaud all of you, and we thank you for partnering with us and entrusting your children to us, as it has been our honor to serve every one of them. Board of Education, Mr. Barenwald, Ms. Custis, administration, faculty, and staff, you all share in the excitement of this graduation ceremony. You have worked alongside these graduates throughout the trials and triumphs of their educational journey. Together, you and these fine young people followed the path to success in education and paved an even greater path to a bright and very meaningful future. I thank each and every one of you for choosing to make your career and your life's work that of serving students and families. You're greatly accomplished as you have helped make dreams like tonight come true for these graduates and their families and friends. That is most admirable and truly appreciated. Graduates, I know there are just a few things standing in your way tonight to getting your diploma and going out to celebrate, and I know that I am one of them. I'll be brief and I'll be seated. As you reflect on and reminisce about your years of education at Cedar Springs, you'll recall the very hard work, the challenges, the fun, and the not so fun times that you had as you accomplished your academic goals to bring you here tonight. Please keep close in those memories what it meant to accomplish all the other goals that you've achieved as you face challenges that have taught you life lessons. You faced adversity, and you'll face adversity again. But please remember that as you do, you must decide in advance, like right now, to use every adversity or setback as a catalyst for greater effort and success. If you live peacefully with your highest values and your strongest ethical convictions at the core of everything you do, you'll never have to compromise or question yourself in the face of any adversity. Believe in yourself, live to serve, celebrate others, and be encouraged by all that comes your way. The pleasant and the not so pleasant, it all makes you stronger and will build great character. Graduates, you'll always hold a special place in our hearts and minds and in our schools. You're a great class, and you have left your footprint on Cedar Springs Public Schools and this community. Please remember to respect and honor our veterans, our military, and our law enforcement for keeping us safe, free, and prospering in this great nation. Please go out and share the very best of what you've learned here at Cedar Springs in all of your future endeavors, whether they be military, college, community, or career. I'll close now with a quote by author L.R. Nost that speaks to each and every one of us here tonight. Our job is not to toughen our children up to face a cruel and heartless world. Our job is to raise children who will make the world a little less cruel and heartless. Graduates, we're counting on you to go out and make the world a better place. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Good Good evening. My name is Ann Custis. I'm one of the administrators at Cedar Springs High School, and most importantly, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing both our salutatorians and valedictorian this evening. First this evening is McKenna Darling. She's the daughter of Brian and Jamie Darling and is the 2017 salutatorian and early graduate. She has accomplished this great task of graduating early by her involvement in the academically talented youth program called ATIP at Kent County ISD for Gifted and Talented Programming, which awarded her a high school credit in her middle school years, in addition to those high school courses offered at her middle school. In addition, she attended Northwestern University numerous summers, taking various high school level courses to articulate further credit. To add to her incredible academic career at Cedar Springs Public Schools, McKenna has also participated in National Honor Society, varsity cheerleading, yearbook staff, and has served as senior class vice president. She was awarded the OK Conference Scholar Athlete as well as the AP Scholar Award for students scoring a 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. During her time at Cedar Springs High School, McKenna took 9 AP courses. After graduation, she plans to attend Davenport University on their top academic scholarship to study sports management. With a final cumulative GPA of 4.203, I introduce to you McKenna Darling, who will now share her salutatorian address.
Good evening, friends and family, teachers, and most of all, graduates of the Cedar Springs High School class of 2017. I am thankful for this opportunity to speak to all of you on such a special night, and for the support that you all have shown us throughout the years. Many of us would not be where we are without all of you. When I sat down to write this speech, I stared at my blank laptop screen for about 5 minutes before opening a new tab and pulling up Facebook. I have gotten pretty good at this, as this exact scenario has occurred over and over during many sleepless nights, attempting to do assignments I had put off in my classes. However, unlike in the past, Facebook was actually pretty helpful this time. I came across a post that a friend had shared about an experiment that had happened in New York City. Someone placed a giant chalkboard on a random street in New York where thousands passed by each day. On the chalkboard, there was a simple yet captivating question: what is your biggest regret? Strangers began to write down their regrets one by one. They said things like not applying to med school and doing all the things that were Plan B instead of Plan A. At first, each one seemed different, but after thousands of answers, a common theme was realized. Almost every person regretted something that they had not done, proving that we, as people, regret the things we didn't do far more than the things we did. Afterwards, the people who had written their regrets on the chalkboard were asked to return and erase what they had written, symbolizing a clean slate. This meant that they could start over, rather than making the same mistakes twice. They would be able to take the chances that they hadn't taken before. There are a few things we can all do to try to prevent regret in life. First, tell your loved ones that you love them, especially your parents, before you go off to college. If your parents are anything like my mother, they will probably be hysterical and won't know what to do without you. Spend some time with them while you still can. Second, follow your dreams. It might sound cliche and stupid, but at this point in our lives, we have been questioned so much about what we are going to do with our lives that we haven't had a chance to think about what we actually want to do. We have been guided to choose the best college and the major with the most utility, mainly so that we are taking the safest course of life with the lowest probability of failure. But is that what you really want? We are so busy trying to live up to the others' expectations that we don't allow ourselves to do what we actually want to do. Next, take risks. As Denzel Washington once said, nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. Turn your failures into successes. As I said my sophomore year in Mr. Stewart's AP World History class, failure is not an option. The options are either success or a new opportunity to learn and grow. Number 4, forgive. Everyone gets hurt in life. It's up to you to be the bigger person. Forgive and mend relationships. Forgiving will allow you to move forward and be even happier and healthier. Choosing not to forgive someone means that you are spending time carrying a burden and being stuck in the past. Finally, be kind and compassionate. Giving a compliment or smile to someone is such an easy way to make someone's day and improve relationships. Not only will it make them feel better, it will make you feel better. All of us likely have things we haven't done that we regret not doing. When you are handed your diploma, let that serve as your clean slate. We are being given the chance to do whatever we want with our lives. While the path you choose may not be the path to earning the most money or the most admiration from others, it will be the path to earning yourself happiness. I challenge you all to take a chance doing what you are passionate about so you can live your life without regret. It was once said that the saddest summary of life contains 3 descriptions: could have, might have, and should have. Thank you.
I'd now like to call Patrick Fleerman to the podium. Patrick is also salutatorian of the class of 2017. Patrick is the son of Jim and Renee Fleerman. In addition to his outstanding academic merits, Patrick was also a member of National Honor Society, wrestled for 4 years, performed martial arts for 9 years, in which he's a black belt. Outside of school, he also serves as junior counselor for the Great Lakes Burn Camp. Patrick also has participated in Kent County's ATIP Gifted and Talented program. When testing for this program, he scored in the top 1% of all gifted test takers nationally and was recognized by Northwestern University for his accomplishments in their university's award ceremony. He was the winner of the OK Conference Scholar Athlete Award and was recipient of the AP Scholar with Distinction Award by scoring an average score of 3.5 or higher and scores of 3 or higher on 5 or more AP exams. During his time at Cedar Springs High School, Patrick took 8 AP courses. Patrick plans to attend the University of Michigan to study chemical engineering. Finishing his high school career with a 4.1468 GPA, I welcome Patrick Fleerman to share his salutatorian address.
Hold up, I promise I'm prepared. All right. So, to be honest, when I realized I had to write a speech, I had no idea how to address all you guys. For the past 4 years, and for many of us most of our lives, we've grown up together and influenced one another immensely. For this reason, I'm not addressing you as a salutatorian or some smart dude standing up here on the stage, but rather as an equal member of our close-knit community. However, despite that, I'm still going to attempt to share some advice with you, because that's sort of my job. First, I'd like to talk to you about the importance of hard work. I think that... Sorry, I tried to eat my tassel for a second. All right. So, anyway, above all else, the most important lesson I've taken from high school is the necessity of perseverance. Beginning freshman year, I realized that I hadn't really learned how to work hard in school. My grades were a lot lower than I expected them to be. After all, I showed up, so I should get an A, right? That's sort of how it had always been. Well, soon enough, it began to dawn on me that I needed to do more than just sit there and wait for success to fall in my lap. I needed to actively pursue it. In contrast, my athletic career, which was just beginning, was riddled with failure from the start. For real, guys, it was bad. Like, we all know what a sacrificial lamb is. That was me. At every wrestling meet. Going out there and getting the crap kicked out of me by all the real athletes. And no one really expected me to come back, so... But at some point, I must have gotten a head injury or something, because I did come back every day. Unlike my academic career, I wasn't a naturally talented wrestler. So to make up for that, I came to the conclusion that I had to work hard at it year-round as often as I could, so that I wouldn't have to be the sacrifice that everybody knew wasn't going to make it out of the first period. Luckily, that sudden surge of motivation carried over to the classroom, where I decided to all of a sudden put actual effort into my studies. As a result, my grades improved more and more every year after 9th grade. I suppose the moral of the story, besides the fact that freshman year sucked for everybody and we all wish we could take it back, is that work ethic regardless of how much natural talent you possess, is the deciding factor in nearly any activity you will pursue in life. Next, I'd like to emphasize that you should make the most of every moment of life. Take advantage of every opportunity that is made available to you. You never hear old people complaining about not taking that job never mind. You never hear old people complaining about how they wish they wouldn't have tried out for the team or taken the job. Instead, the regrets they harbor are due to lost opportunities that they never took advantage of. My advice, and the way that I try to live my own life, is to make sure that you will feel content when you're old and maybe a little bit senile and start to reminisce about your youth. Truly live in and enjoy every moment, and old person you can be content. I believe that I've accomplished at least that much in high school, and I, for one, wouldn't trade the last 4 years for anything, although I am both prepared and excited for what the future holds. While this wisdom, if you can call anything that comes out of my mouth wisdom, certainly applies to the 4 years that we've already spent in high school, it's also a mentality that you can carry forward with you for the rest of your life. So when you go forth into the world, remember that life is what you make of it. If you take in and enjoy every moment, making the most of your time, you'll be able to say that you've lived a fulfilling life. That being said, I'm also a strong advocate of not taking life too seriously. Mess around, have some fun, laugh a little. I promise you won't regret it. Lastly, I'd like to talk to you about the importance of community. The one community that encompasses us all is that of the class of 2017, this group of wildly unique individuals that has grown together over the years. However, we all also belong to a myriad of other diverse communities that define us: sports teams, clubs, family, and countless others. These communities have played a major role in shaping us into who we are today, and the communities that we choose to be a part of in the future will continue to mold us into the people that we will eventually become. Treasure these communities and realize that you impact them just as much as they impact you. It's been an honor and a pleasure to know you all. I could never ask for better classmates, teammates, or family. I'd like to leave you with one final piece of advice that I've picked up in my life. So, for those of you who don't know, when I was 8 years old, I was burned when a crock pot of chili spilled into my lap. Don't worry though, everything important's safe, I promise. Anyway, since then, I've decided that life is a lot like a pot of chili. Sometimes you get to eat it, and sometimes it just spills all over in your lap and gives you third-degree burns. Whichever is the case, just remember to make the best of it, because that's what matters in the end. Thank you. Quick shout out to my family. Love you guys.
Next, I'd like to call Tara Teppen to the podium. Tara is your 2017 class valedictorian. Tara is the daughter of Jim and Michelle Teppen. Throughout her high school career, Tara's participated in marching band, concert band, jazz band, cross country, track, robotics club, and National Honor Society. She's been recognized by the MHSAA as All-Conference in track, All-Conference honorable mention in cross country, OK Conference Scholar Athlete, Academic All-State in cross country, as well as state qualifier in both track and cross country. And in addition, she holds 2 school records for the 100-meter hurdles and 300-meter hurdles. Her academic awards include Academic Excellence, Perfect Attendance, Cedar Springs High School Department Honoree for the area of mathematics, AP Scholar Award recipient for the score of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. Tara's taken 6 AP courses while she's in high school. She is also the recipient of the Semper Fidelis Award for her character and leadership within the band, both as first chair and section leader, as she's played the clarinet and bassoon. In addition, she's been awarded the Congressional Medal of Merit, which is selected by staff to recognize one senior who has earned the respect of his or her school and community based upon citizenship, academic excellence, peer respect, community service, and extracurricular involvement. After graduation, Tara plans to attend Kettering University beginning later this month to study mechanical engineering. She's earned both the Kettering Trustee Scholarship of $15,000 as well as the First Robotics Scholarship of $22,000. In addition, she's secured a co-op opportunity with Magna Seating. With a 4.2288 GPA, I would like to recognize Tara Teppen as the Class of 2017 valedictorian.
Whoever's water is in this podium, I'm really tempted to drink it. Oh, these are a little funky. Hello, everyone. Okay. Good evening, class of 2017. We made it. 4 years later, and the day has finally come to walk across this stage and take our next steps into our future. Some of you out there on the edge of your seat right now, itching for me to stop talking so you can skirt on out of here and never look back. I hate to break it to you, but I've been waiting and dreading giving this speech for the past 4 years. So you're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer. For those of you who are in my sophomore year government class, you may remember that speeches are not my thing. That day still gives me nightmares, standing in front of a class of less than 30 people, and my mouth is moving, well, kind of, and hardly any words are coming out. I start to sort of freeze. But hopefully, if I've gotten this far in my speech, I'll be good enough to carry on. Anyway, back to my speech. These past 4 years have been either the best or worst 4 years of our lives. They have shaped us into who we are today. We found out who we liked, who we didn't like, what our style was, and whether or not we really needed that pre-calc credit or not. After taking that class in Algebra 2, I think it's safe to say the most searched thing on Google was highest paying jobs without math. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any big stories or huge obstacles I've overcome to talk about today, but I do have bits of wisdom that I've picked up along my journey through late night studying, plenty of extracurriculars, and my fair share of bumps in life. The first is to stay positive. This applies to most everything I will say tonight, from mentality to attitude. Being mentally positive about life will allow you to achieve most anything. I discovered this through sports I've participated in over the years. I ran, and running is not really fun, but when I tell myself I can, and the pain is not really that bad, then that's when I run my best races. This positive mindset can be carried on elsewhere in life as well. Did you go through a bad breakup? Yeah, it hurts, but now you have a chance with that cute boy who works at Pizza Hut. There's a positive side to everything in life, so don't let the negatives bring you down. That brings me to my next point. Everyone deserves their own slice of happiness, either big or small. We've all gotten that one unexpected compliment or act of kindness at least once in our lives that ended up making our day. I want you to think about that time right now. Think about how you felt and how nice it was. Now, imagine feeling that happy all the time. It's amazing how something so small can bring so much joy into the world. So when you see someone, give them a compliment. Don't think it's weird or question what they will think, because if someone complimented you, I bet you'd be shining those pearly whites in a heartbeat. Although everyone else's happiness is important, don't forget that yours is as well. Make sure you handle yourself first, even if it means being a little selfish. My next bit of wisdom is that if you fall down, stand back up. Life will not always be sunshine and rainbows, but you can't let the cloudy days drag you down. In order to be successful, you need to encounter a few failures first. Throw back to Thomas Edison, who failed over 10,000 times before he was able to create a functioning light bulb. However, I'm not saying you need to fail 10,000 times to succeed, but instead, view every obstacle you encounter as a way to grow and improve. The next time you fail a quiz, think, what can I do better next time? Or, if you didn't get the playing time you wanted, don't pout and complain. Use it as motivation to work harder. There are many things you probably wish you could go back and change, but as Omar Khayyam said in the Rubaiyat, the moving finger writes and having writ moves on. We can't change the past, so we might as well make the most of it. Mistakes are mistakes unless you take nothing from them. My last bit of wisdom is this. Be you. Be who you are and do what makes you happy. Do not worry about what other people may think, because their opinion of you does not matter. Only you matter. Throughout my life, I've always been held back by what I thought others would think about me. The way I dressed, to the people I could have hung out with, to the speech I'm giving today. The fear of judgment has always been in the back of my head. That's why, if you look at my feet, you may be thinking, what are those? Well, I'll tell you what those are. Those are my Crocs. They're the smile on my face, the skip in my step, and the laugh that gets me through the day. To most people, they're an outdated fashion item, or even weird. But to me, they are true happiness. Being able to say, screw you social constructs, I'm going to do what makes me happy no matter what others may think, is a relief. It's the silly things that bug us, control our lives. We are raised to be certain people, do certain things, and if we challenge that one bit, it's like all we've ever lived for comes crumbling down. I'm no longer talking about the shoes, but life, expectations. No one in this world is perfect, and not everyone will go on to live what society would call an ideal life. But if you're happy, why should you care what other people think? You could flip burgers for your job and be the happiest person in the world, like a certain sponge that lives in a pineapple under the sea. Yet most people would deem that as a terrible job. But if you enjoy it, what does it matter? There's so much to say, but I can't say it all. Cross this stage with pride. Don't hurry across. Take your time. Take it in. You did it. Survived 4 years here. Shared many laughs, many tears, and many memories with the people all around you. Once you cross this stage, you enter the adult world. Most of you will head off to college. Have fun, but not too much. Others, the military, God bless you, you're brave. Some to the workforce, yay adulting. And others to your parents' basement. Don't stay there long, it doesn't look good on a dating profile. Wherever life takes you, after you cross the stage, enjoy it. Capture life's little moments, and don't take anything for granted. After walking the halls with you for the past 4 years, I can say with confidence that each of you is destined to have a wonderful life. Congratulations, class of 2017. We did it. I'm not done yet. So, I finished my speech early, and I had this idea. I think it'd be fun to rap. Okay, so I'm sure most of you heard the song Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I rewrote the words a little. Here it goes. Now, this is a story all about how I came to be standing here before you right now, and it'll just take a minute, so sit right there, and I'll tell you how I became valedictorian this year. Just north of Grand Rapids, born and raised, in the classroom is where I spent most of my days, studying, practicing, napping, that drool, carrying my books all over school. I had this feeling, I want to do good. It started way young in my childhood. My first report card came, and I got all A's. My mom said, "Terrell, you do is amaze." I worked my took-us off day after day. Calculus, chemistry, literature, oy vey. Springtime AP test? Who wants to take it? What is this, AP Chem? I might as well fake it. Freshman year, I thought, this ain't bad. Walking on the left side of the hallway making you mad. Is this what freshman year looks like? This might be all right. But wait, sophomore year, American Lit and all that. Dolby, here's my essay. Is there a lot to work at? I'm sure you think so. I know you'll be fair. I hope I'm prepared for SATs next year. Well, junior year, and this is what it's about. 2 more years of classes, and then we will be out. I'm just trying to pass my AP test. This is the big year. I cried on my books, hoping my homework would disappear. I blinked for a sec, then came senior year, college applications and searching for a career. If anything, I could say this year was shiznit, but I thought, nah, forget it. It went by lickety-split. I walked up to the podium about 7 or 8, and I talked to the crowd. Yo, class of 2017, see you late. I looked at my peers. I was finally here to sit on my throne as valedictorian this year.
Thank you, Tara, for that inspirational and entertaining valedictorian speech. Let's give the class of 2017 valedictorian and our salutatorians one more round of applause for their academic achievements and their inspirational messages. The class of 2017 has asked Mr. Justin Harnden to be their commencement speaker. Mr. Harnden was born and raised in Freeland, Michigan, where he attended Bay City Western High School. As a member of the 1997 graduating class, Mr. Harnden had his sights set on attending Saginaw Valley State University, where he studied theater and communications, along with minoring in psychology. Since earning his undergraduate degree in 2001, Mr. Harnden has continued his education, earning a Master's of Arts from Grand Valley State University in Educational Leadership, making him my go-to guy, or our faculty member in charge, when myself, Mrs. Custis, Mr. Norton are out of the building for whatever reasons of the day. Doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. We get called to different sporting event meetings and things like that. Mr. Harnden applied for a teaching position with Cedar Springs High School in 2003. Since receiving the job offer, he has been honored to teach 4 levels of theater, television production, and during the first couple years of his employment, psychology. Over the course of his 14 years at Cedar Springs, Mr. Harnden and H Productions have also directed several plays and musical performances, helping students transform themselves into the character role they have been cast. If you have ever attended one of his students' improv shows, I'm sure you walked away feeling a little bit better about your day and finding a little chuckle in your throat as you reflected on the performance. Nearly every morning before the start of the school day, students find Mr. Harnden sitting outside the auditorium greeting them or striking up a conversation. The auditorium is like Mr. Harnden's second home. As our theater teacher and house manager, he spends the majority of his day and some evenings there too. A multitude of hours have been spent making sure the microphones and sound system are working, the lighting and visual displays are up to par, and ready for the next event or show in the auditorium. He's been instrumental in advocating and successfully securing funding for the replacement of the soundboard and speakers, the lighting board, and most recently the projection unit in the auditorium. Upon the retirement of Mrs. Linda Martino, Mr. Harnden took on the task of our television production program and is responsible for making the arrangements with MHSAA Network for the broadcast of our athletic events. He also established the Cedar Springs TV channel on YouTube for student broadcasts and special school events like tonight's commencement. In addition to his teaching assignment, Mr. Harnden has served as our varsity girls soccer coach for the past 10 years. And has been, yeah, give him out to him. Give him some love. And has been co-advisor for the Athletic Leadership Council since second semester of 2016. By this point, it should be obvious to all of us that Mr. Harnden is a teacher who not only is committed to his profession, but thoroughly enjoys working with students. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to call upon Mr. Justin Harnden, a proud Cedar Springs High School faculty member and coach, proudly chosen by the class of 2017 as their commencement speaker.
All right, let's see how this goes. Banner, if I go too fast, let me know. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to everyone here as we celebrate the graduating class of 2017. Before I start, I would like to take a second and thank the students for giving me the privilege of speaking at this momentous occasion. I know there are a large number of individuals that could be up here speaking, and I consider it an honor. I feel it is also important to acknowledge the wonderful teachers and parents that have been instrumental in each and every student's educational journey during their time here at Cedar Springs Public Schools, Please join me as we honor all teachers and parents here tonight with a round of applause. Thank you. I have help. When I started putting the speech together for tonight, there were a multitude of things that went running through my head about what I should talk about. Ultimately, I settled on some very simple things that are very important to how I try to live. Tonight, I'm going to focus on the 5 P's of life that are instrumental to your happiness, peace of mind, and success. Hopefully it's spelled right. Purpose. To begin with, I needed to know that there was another graduation speech given this year, but you may not have heard anything about it. However, one of our previous graduates, Thomas Waite, may have. The commencement speech was given by Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, just a few weeks ago at Harvard University. In this speech, he states that finding your purpose isn't enough, and that your purpose is to help everyone else find their purpose in life. But I have to adamantly disagree. When you find your purpose in life, you'll be able to make so many great things happen. You will know that where you are is exactly where you should be. Purpose is defined as the reason for which something is done, or created, or for which something exists. You exist for a purpose, and you should constantly be searching for what it is you are supposed to do. I'm not here to tell you that everyone's purpose in life is to go to college and get an education. You may find that your purpose may be in the military, skilled labor, or even digging ditches. But if you do those things with a sense of purpose, each one of them can be extremely rewarding. Thomas Edison said, "Being busy doesn't always mean real work. The object of all work is production or accomplishment, and to either of these ends there must be forethought, system, planning, intelligence, and honest purpose, as well as perspiration. Seeming to do is not doing." My advice to you is to not just settle because you're told to or feel you can't do anything else. Keep moving to search for your purpose. It may take a while for it to show up. One of your teachers, Mr. Dave Stewart, thought that med school was the right decision for him upon entering college, but it really wasn't. While in college at the University of Michigan, he joined up for an alternative spring break. There he found himself working with inner city youths and loving every minute of it. It was right then and there that he realized that his purpose was to teach. And his life from that moment on had a very distinct and different purpose. I'm sure I'm not alone when I say how I feel, but Mr. Stewart is one of the best teachers I've ever had the privilege of working with, and it took him a while to find his purpose. Pride. When you look back at your high school education, you may not be the most proud of every single thing that you've started, accomplished, tried, or gone through. But later in life, you'll look back at those experiences and be proud of that you had them. Without those experiences, you would not become the person you will be. Pride shows itself in a number of ways. It can be that feeling when you hold the door for someone, the pat on the back you got from a teacher or a coach, the grade you received on your report card, the feeling you got when you passed that class you didn't think you could, or that feeling you're going to have when you walk across this very stage in just a short time. Whatever things you endure, be proud of them, both good and bad. Carry yourself in the highest regard and never settle for anything less than the best version of you that you can be. For examples of pride in our school, you can see them as Mr. Painter reads notes left by previous students, or as Mrs. Dolby sees current and past students become successful, Mr. Kopolka as he talks about our football program, Mr. Modisher being part of 5 national championships at Grand Valley State University. Any of our teachers when they talk about their kids, biological and school. And soon in Mr. Barenwald's face as his oldest daughter graduates on this stage as well. If you can go through the events in your life being proud of what you did and will continue to do, then your life will be a profound success. While I know that this will not happen for all of you all of the time, this should be your goal. With that in mind, I leave you with this quote from F. Scott Fitzgerald. "I hope you live a life you're proud of. If you find that you're not, I hope you have the strength to start all over again." They're a little slow sometimes. But they're good kids, don't get me wrong. Passion. There are certain things in your life that bring you joy and happiness just because they exist. Those things grow into your passions. Those passions could be a sport, an instrument, video games, another person, nature, cars, or anything in existence. Without yours, you would have no idea what you would be like. For me, those passions are my career, the theater, and the sport of soccer. While I'll be the first to admit that I might not be the best at any of those things, I do know that without them in my life, I would not be the person I am today. I'm sure that there are a number of you in the audience that have a passion you might be a little embarrassed by or that nobody else knows of. I'm here to tell you to keep them in your life and constantly work towards them. Sidney Crosby, one of the greatest hockey players of this generation, says the biggest thing for me is passion that I've always had for hockey. I remember growing up, no matter what I did in life, my parents always told me to try to do my best at it, and I did. I can say through different things that this passion is the most important part. It's not skills or talent or any of that stuff. Talent will get you through a game, an interview, or a job, but passion will get you through life. For more direct connection of this, I give you Mr. Larry Rayburn. For almost 40 years, he has taught at Cedar Springs High School, and he's almost single-handedly, in my opinion, responsible for the success of our FFA program. He is here before the sun comes up almost all year round, and he's willing to do whatever it takes for that program to succeed. Even after he retires here at the end of the school year, the FFA will forever be in his heart. His passion for that program has led it for years and will continue to be ever present for years to come. This is the long word. Perseverance. For me, this quality is the one that often can go overlooked, but has the potential to lead to the most glorious results. We've all had goals in our lives. Are we good? I'll wait. He'll probably be up here on the stage next year, just so you know. Let me go back to this a little bit. Thanks, Jacob. We've all had goals in our lives that we wanted to accomplish, and somewhere on that journey we lost our way. We couldn't find the time, energy, discipline, and commitment to keep pushing on. No matter what the goal is, we should keep our focus on one of the habits of mind you've been taught throughout your life. Persevering through the trials and tribulations of life in search of something you want and need is truly admirable. Say you want to get better grades, then you need to keep pushing through your struggles. Or you want to be successful in the working world, but you don't feel there's a place for you in it. Create one. Always keep pushing towards your goals no matter what force stands in your way. And when you need a little inspiration for that, take it from Mr. Busen, who wanted to complete an Ironman by his 40th birthday. If you don't know what an Ironman is, it's a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bike ride, followed by a full 26-mile marathon. Well, he took it upon himself to train like crazy for it, for a long period of time, sometimes more than 2 hours a day. There was an Ironman in Grand Rapids, and he was planning on doing this, and his eyes were clearly locked on finishing that prize. The big day came and the race started, but not even halfway through it, weather turned rough, and with lightning all in the area, the race was canceled. Something he had worked so hard for and was ready for was just taken away and out of his control. He could have called it quits there, but he couldn't. When he arrived home that day, he got in the computer and found there was another one following weekend. Only it was in Canada. So when you need to persevere to accomplish your goals, what do? You get in the car, drive to Canada, get a hotel, and complete the Ironman on your 40th birthday. Nothing was going to stand in his way of completing the Ironman, and nothing should stand in the way of you completing your goals. All right, Jacob, you got to change it this time again. The last word is presence. This has two simple yet important meanings. The first is that someone is willing to give their time to help someone in need. This is truly evident by the people you walk past every day in Cedar Springs High School. This special group of people are our special education staff. They are constantly working to help all of those that need them. Oftentimes they're here early or late, driving all the way across the state to see their kids perform in sporting events, and even more often giving up their lunch hour to make sure everyone has the biggest chance to succeed. If you want to be the best you can and be present for others, then you should model yourself after them. The other definition being present in the moment. This is something that I struggle with, but I believe that it really needs to come to the forefront of how we do things. When you're with someone, be with them. When you're on vacation, be on a complete vacation. Enjoy every little second you can just be there with whoever and wherever you find yourself. Along with this, you need to take time for yourself. Just get away and relax on your own. Take time each day to just be. I firmly believe that you'll be happier because of it. Those moments will be a lot more beneficial than any snap, text, Instagram, or spam post you'll put out. From my perspective, those 5 Ps will get you very far in life. They might seem like simple things to do, but more often than not, they get forgotten since we have other things that are more important. Well, I don't think anything is more important than you and what you're going to do. You have the power to be a positive force in your life, your family's lives, your community, and your world. I believe you should never settle for your second best. So when you leave this stadium today, keep those 5 Ps in mind. Find your purpose, take pride in what you do, live your life with passion, persevere through life's challenges, and always strive to be present. Thank you, and best of luck.
Thank you, Mr. Harnden. The students have all appreciated and will benefit from your knowledge and wisdom shared with them tonight and over their high school years. I'd like to now call upon the senior class leadership team for their farewell address to the class.
Hello, my name is Bailey Lockney, and I'll be giving a very, very short speech this evening. Even though my short will be speech... Even though my speech will be short, it has a very similar moral to other speeches before me. Here's a quote I found a couple weeks ago, and it made me think about the future. One day you will understand that it is harder to be kind than to be clever. I believe our generation cannot grow up in this real world being known as lazy and rude. Things will not be handed to us. Things will not always go our way. That doesn't mean we throw a fit and stop trying. To be successful, we need to fight for everything we want. We need to work hard to get to the top, even if we have to start from rock bottom. On your journey to the top, do not forget to be resilient, determined, responsible, and most importantly, be respectful. Be kind to your elders, your youngsters, your equals, your everyone. We are losing kindness and respect in this world, but we can make a difference. Represent Cedar Springs, your family, and yourself by being respectful. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Watch this one go down. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am very awkward. This could go really bad. I'm really sorry if possible. I am Caitlin Coons. I have had the honor to be the class president for 4 years. Tonight I will try to keep it short and sweet, but, I'd like to start out by targeting future graduates in the stands. I asked the senior class for some advice they would give to others coming into our position. Here are 5 things they said that stood out to me. Number 1, memories will make a lasting... Memories will make a lasting image more than a grade you got on a biology test. Nick Scott. Number 2, it's okay to fail. Hannah Cedarquist. Number 3, take every opportunity. People look back and wish they had done something more than they wish they hadn't done something. Patrick Flaherman. Number 4, don't the judgment of others influence what you do. Susan Magoon. Number 5, don't overwork yourself. Make sure you save time to just enjoy life. Grades are important, but so is your happiness. Tara Teppin. Class of 2017, here we are. Here's the night we have all been waiting for. Here's the night that seems so far away until now. We have all been counting down the days until graduation from the very first day of our freshman year when we were all the awkward 14 and 15-year-olds running around trying to figure out how to open our lockers and get to the correct class. As 3 years have flown by, we barely made it to class on time, if we even made it there at all. In light of the majority of us using the 8 absences or more given to us each semester, we have all managed to do one thing. We finished. So tonight is the night. Tonight is the night where 226 of us walk across stage in our caps and gowns as one class, one last time. But as we sit here in these bleachers, anxiously awaiting to throw our caps up in the air, let's take a moment to flash back to our high school days together. Freshman year. Freshman year was when we all carried around our agendas, had our IDs wrapped around our necks, made it to class 5 minutes early, did all of our homework, and we're still trying to figure out quote-unquote, the high school life. But thank goodness we walked on the correct side of the hallway and knew how to use deodorant. Most of us. We participated in the first lip dub ever at the Cedar Springs High School. Freshman year was a year of learning and growing. As for sophomore year, everyone started to get more involved with school and sports. And that's when we started to nag on the freshmen for being freshmen. Not simply because we were any better than them, but because we weren't the bottom feeders anymore. Our class was the first ever to have sophomores in National Honor Society. Our football team won conference and became champs. We took home the dub against all the other classes in homecoming hallway decorating. And then later that year, some of us got our license and threw numerous fits because we could drive and we still couldn't go out to lunch because simply we wanted to be juniors. And yet again, it was a year of learning and growing for many of us. Now on to junior year. We are officially halfway done with high school. However, in the moment, we still felt so far away. This would be the first year we could play powder puff and volley boys. But to start off junior year, we got to go out to lunch and waste all the money on fast food. What a thrill we thought we were missing out on. And our football team, yet again, won conference, making them back-to-back champs. Then it was the girls' turn, who turned around and beat the seniors in powder puff. And again, back-to-back champs in homecoming hallway decorating. And our very own marching band took 5th at Ford Field for state finals. As for the academic side, our class was the first to be a part of making advanced placement honor roll. To end junior year, we got to go to prom and enjoy one last dance as a junior. It was a taste of the precious moments of being an upperclassman. Just like that, 4 years flew by. Senior pictures were now done. Future decisions were made or needed to be made. In our last year of being a high school student was upon us, and all of a sudden everything became a last. Senior night, football games, basketball games, choir and band concerts, etc. But that did not stop us. To start off the year, we won homecoming hallway decorating again. That's 3 times in a row. And to top off homecoming week, we even won the spirit jug. And then our girls became back-to-back powder puff champs. In the winter, we all caught senioritis. Even though we don't want to admit it, we did. We all used our absences and took senior skip days to our advantage. Our boys went on to win volley boys against the juniors as well as the teachers. We participated in beach backpack buddies, FFA coin drives, Autism Awareness Month, and even started a robotics club. All of you have donated so much to your heart, time, and money to your organizations that wouldn't have happened without you. We also donated back to our school and put in a brand new projector in the cafeteria. The senior class, in fact, started a brand new tradition this past week in the elementary school where we walked through the hallways with our caps and gowns, and the smiles and the pictures and their faces of all of them made all 12 years worth it. We wished from day one of freshman year for these 4 years to go by quicker, and they definitely did. This would have not happened without the countless hours of practice, volunteering, hard work, and sleepless nights everyone has put in. I know at some point we all just wanted to give in, but all 226 of us made it. You made it to the day you never thought would come fast enough. All of us should be proud of ourselves as we sit here today one last time. Because I know on the behalf of the staff, the parents, the administration, and myself, we are so proud of you, and wow. Thank you to Cedar Springs Public Schools. Thank you for shaping us into the humans we are. Thank you to our parents. Thank you for making our first years of our lives the best ones. Thank you for making this district a home. Nothing we have done will be forgotten, and watching the class of 2017 grow as a family, become mature young adults has been a truly amazing ride. All these memories have made us who we are today. So Red Hawks, I think it's time we go off and make some new ones. Be curious. Ask why. Ask how. Try some new things. Keep your eyes open. Keep your mind open. The more questions you ask, the more adventures you'll encounter. As you continue to learn and grow, never forget your home. Once a Red Hawk, always a Red Hawk. Good luck in your future endeavors, and congratulations, class of 2017. Thank you.
Good evening, families, friends, staff, and class of 2017. I'm Sarah Kinder, and it has been an honor for me to represent our class on student council these last few years. I've learned so much and grown as a leader. One of the most important things I've learned during high school has been not to be afraid of failure and to not give up. The results may not always be what you think they will, but you'll more than likely find something better in the end. Throughout high school, I tried out for many things like the varsity tennis team, Red Flannel Queen, and even some top positions on student council. All of these have one thing in common, and that's that I didn't get any of them, but that didn't stop me. I continued playing tennis, and I somewhat got over my stage fright, as well as continued helping on student council, whatever was needed. Once you get over your fears and push past your failures, your possibilities are endless. Some of the best words of wisdom I heard have come from my favorite Disney movies, and they are, the past can hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. And life's not a spectator sport. If watching is all you're going to do, then you're going to watch your life go by without you. Once you get knocked down, it's hard to get back up. But I challenge you, class of 2017, to get back up time and time again, because you never know what great things are on the other side. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Anna Barenwald, and I had the privilege of serving as the Executive President of Student Council. Before I begin, I'd like to sincerely thank all the students and staff on behalf of the Senior Student Council officers. Students, thank you for attending dances and assemblies, for either coaching or playing in Powder Puff, for bringing canned food and donations for the food drive, and most of all, for helping decorate our homecoming hallway. Staff, thank you for giving up class time to allow your students to participate in our events, for hanging posters in your room, and for supporting and chaperoning dances. You all gave us our purpose, and we grew as leaders and individuals from your support. And now for my version of our epilogue. When I sat down to write, I reflected over the past graduation speeches I've heard, and came to conclude that all referred to a similar topic, the future. However, I decided that after this long and epic journey we've just been through, I couldn't speak about the thing we, one, are most afraid of, and two, will do apart from each other. So, while it's true that in a few short moments we will throw our caps, flip the page, and begin writing book 2, and this time with the pen in our own hands, I want to instead focus on the moment we are in presently. I've come to realize that our generation and our parents' generation doesn't experience moments anymore. We capture, post, and plan moments, but we often forget to experience them. At the next concert, wedding, or birthday party you attend, I want you to look at the people around you. I guarantee that each person, including yourself, will have their arms raised, phone in hand, ready to record or snap these moments. People, we are losing out on life. A moment is not classified by what you have on your camera roll, but by what you remember feeling in your heart and soul. Look at the pride and happiness in your grandfather's eyes as he blows out 70 birthday candles. Feel the rhythmic beat of your favorite band and the screams of all their fans. Observe and learn from the love of two people willing to go through life together. Take time to remember the raw human moments as they happen before you. I'm not saying don't use technology to catalog life. I'm just asking that we first remember how a moment made us feel before we look at a screen to see how it looked. So, as our final high school assignment, we are going to practice processing this moment, the one we've been working towards for 18 years. I'm going to need your involvement in this one. I'd like everyone to turn to the people they walked out of the tunnel with. Know that out of all your friends you've made and lost in high school, you chose them to share this moment with. Give them a hug or a handshake, and then look them in the eyes and genuinely say thank you. Next, turn and find your family in the crowd. Smile and wave at them, mouth I love you. If it weren't for them, you literally wouldn't be here. As for the staff and administration, I think they deserve a round of applause. We may just make it through this life due to the knowledge they've passed on to us. Finally, I want you to look up at the sky. It's a big, big world out there. Go and experience it. Have an adventure. Mrs. Dolby taught me better than to end with a cliche. So instead of live in the moment, I'd like to share a simple quote from one of my favorite movies titled Now Is Good. Moments. Your life is a series of moments. Don't miss out. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, class leaders. You have done an amazing job serving your class, and with the involvement of your classmates, promoted the theme of purpose throughout the school this year. Not only have you given back to your school, but you have shared your time and talents with the greater Cedar Springs community. Job well done. As a reflective moment on the significance of commencement and the many years of memories shared by the class of 2017, I have called upon Mr. Adam Borst and the members of the band to perform a special musical selection. This year's performance is entitled Melodious Thunk, excuse me. This piece was composed by David Bendenbender and commissioned for and dedicated to Cedar Springs High School back in 2012. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Cedar Springs High School Band under the direction of Mr. Adam Borst. Thank you, high school band and seniors have joined in. Give them a moment here to return to their seats. We're nearing the awarding of the diplomas here. Board of Education President Matthew Schaffner and the members of the Board of Education. It is with great pride and excitement that the faculty and administration of Cedar Springs High School presents to you the class of 2017. Of the seniors seated before you tonight, 193 have met all graduation requirements or program goals as set forth by board policy, and as principal, I recommend that each of them be presented with their Cedar Springs Public Schools diploma or certificates. We are also excited to have 24 seniors who represent Cedar Springs' first early middle college cohort, who, after the completion of the program next year, will have received both their high school diploma and an associate's degree from Grand Rapids Community College. We also have 5 remaining exchange students that we have warmly embraced this year and learned from, and we want you to present to them their certificates of attendance. Mrs. Custis, Mrs. Cooey, and Mrs. Perro, please prepare the seniors for the presentation of their diplomas as the members of the Board of Education and Dr. Van Dyne take their places on stage here for the conferring. I now call to the podium Cedar Springs High School alumnus from the class of 2012, Mr. Trey Reed, otherwise known as the voice of the Red Hawks, for the official presentation of the class. Please stay mindful that everyone wants to hear their graduate's name be read throughout the conferring of the diplomas. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Trey Reed.
Row 1, please rise and step forward to accept your diplomas. Timothy Marsman. Kayla Van Assen. Josh Heinzelman. Jessica Marie Plowman. Carly Lene Moton. Megan Grace Dreyer. Sydney Jane Gallup. Austin John Basso. Brooke Hannah Morris. Samantha Ann Terhorst. Lindsay Lehman. Sienna White. Taylor Paisley. Austin Ellis. Anna Kendall. Laura Kutilkova. Haley Jo Makaravich. Emily Jo Nichols. Abigail Sky Garza. Heidi Lynn Reynolds. Nicole Anne Marie Martin. Cy Vandermeulen. Arlena Ray Gillette. Paul Mead. Patrick DiPiazza. Nathan Schoen. Jeff Davis. Brock Wolf. Joe Carlin. Matthew Batchelder. Uriana Metzger. Michael Stewart. Raquel Hernandez. Allie Gibson. Sebastian Tompkins. Cheyenne Burnett. Michaela Williams. Savannah McDonald. Ashley Morgan Oswald. Caleb Bowen. Brian Boyer. Row 2, please rise and step forward to accept your diplomas. Zachary John Harmon. Jenna Catherine Zorman. Kaylee Sue Tennant. Mariah Joe Elger. Aaliyah Ashley Sargent. Nicholas Evan Scott. Mitchell Allen Russo. Colin Elvesteffer. Jameson Edward Pavelka. Caitlin Coons. Hannah Cedarquist. Allison Joy Sparling. Jacob Hooker. Dylan Ostrom Howell. Alexander Douglas. Aubriana Anderson. Terilyn Stiegald. Sophia McMahon. Cody Bosch. Hallie Bricky. Emily Clifford. Gabe Weimer. Alan Kalenda. Megan Elizabeth Zinn. Sarah Beth Kyander. Mariah Rios. Anna Paige Barenwald. Jacob Hess. Clayton Kuiper. Austin Stockreef. Chase James Merlington. Tyler Lovell. Jacob Cran. Austin Anderson. Derek Rose. Jeremy Wildfawn. Row 3, please rise and step forward to accept your diplomas. Ryan Petty. Jared Liggett. Dylan Kalasa. Evan Gabriel Lynch Lewis. Justice Guy List. Corey Fisher. Rebecca Zamora. Thomas Ardell Hill II. Maddie Van Dusen. Jordan Ringler. Dustin Shaw. Troy Patton. Jordan Andrus. Brianna Zanstra. Gage Hybor. Austin Whitmill. Joe Reich Tanis. Todd Brecken. Jacob Bartholomew. Joshua Ray Seiswerda. William Hibbs. Alyssa Bergman. Sydney Ann O'Connor. Brandon Boucher. Drake Bishop. Antonia Sherman. Melissa Garcia. Brooklyn Robinson. Carolyn Schwaba. Barry Wu. George Chauvin. Seamus Key. Tyler Robart. Trevor Rourke. Ashley Nimo. Row 4, please rise and step forward to accept your diplomas. Caitlin Totten. Serena Stocks. Kelly Barnes. Sierra Hull. Madison Breen. Michael Gordon Dunn III. Tanner Larson. Christopher Wheeler. Tyler Marlette. Brandon Smith. Destiny Alcombrack. Madeline Bowman. Kerrigan Clark. Stephanie Ramos. Mackenzie Clark. Madison Mora. Faith Peacock. Heidi Kazanowski. Chase Swatzel. Alex Jordan. Josh Davis. Spencer Graham. Drew French. Nicholas Frodel. Bradley Barnard. Taylor DeHaas. Alexis Whitney. Brandy Nicole Cheek. Taylor Ann Leiter. Caitlin Ann Rounds. Anissa Marie Bizzard. Alexis Ritzema. Alyssa Cowley. Tatum Oxford. Lee Gam. Row 5, please rise and step forward to accept your diplomas. Analia LaFranca. Savannah Steed. Brianna Steed. Madison Strain. Adam Parker. Ashton Page. Danielle Thompson. Ryan Blue. Cade Hall. Maya Ingersoll. Holly Shear. Emilio Menchaca. Lauren White. Elise Murray. Austin Hill. Noah Van Kampen. Cassandra Rivard. Brianna Schultz. William Gross. Gavin Moore. Brooke Ross. McCarty Snoink. Sydney Jagger. Bailey Locknate. Christian Twitchell. Rankin Hickok. Carson Dingman. Haley Vinton. Jacob McHenry. Nick Rethamel. Briar Velting. Isaiah Schatz. Alex Robinson. Daniel Draper. Austin Nielsen. Braden Harper. Row 6, please rise and step forward to accept your diplomas. Taylor Vickers. Megan Nozell. Riley Ross. Gabrielle Ramos. Hunter Burleson. Jack Kane. Cameron Patton. Dugan Conley. Paul Bowerman. Kevin Galloway. Brendan Johnson. Jake Waller. Frederick Rutledge. Brianna Fikema. Megan Knowlton. Caitlin Galembo. Caitlin Dewey. Joanne Hale. Jolene Herrig. Megan Ingerson. Jennifer Heinzelman. Caitlin Bartholomew. Jessica Marie Brunette. Hannah Heinzelman. Haley Wysocki. Kayla Fisher. Lisa Heinzelman. Caitlin Ringler. Jaron Spencer. Miranda Kalesa. Susan Magoon. Ashley Warlick. Catherine Nicole Krankel. Hunter Hall. Brandon Kirchhoff. Nicole Von Sagern. McKenna Riley Darling. Patrick James Flairman. Tara Nicole Teppen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing the end of tonight's ceremony. I ask that you remain seated and allow the graduates to exit the track. The recessional will follow the moving of the tassel and the proclamation. Wait for them to be seated. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct privilege to present to you the most recent graduates of Cedar Springs High School, the class of 2017.